everybody, welcome back. Today I have decided I'm going to do a gym tour for you all. I may have hinted to that a little bit on a little poll I did on my channel. But yeah, so you're getting a gym tour, a home gym tour. But just because I have this equipment, it doesn't mean that you have to get equipment, because you can get fit even without equipment. Just going for a walk every day. If you're somewhere where it doesn't rain all the time like it does here. Some people don't mind walking in the rain, but me, it's like, no. But, or just find an indoor place to go walking, because you got to start slow, usually, if you're not used to working out, and you also just need to get creative. But yeah, because I honestly, like several years ago when I started working out, because I've probably only been serious about working out for like the last 5 years. But since I've gotten more serious about working out, I've slowly started to get equipment. And I'll explain how I got these things kind of, because one of them was like super cheap and an awesome deal. But yeah, so you don't need equipment. You can use body weight if you're into strength training, because if you haven't strength trained at all, body weight is gonna feel heavy on its own as well. So honestly, because like, sometimes my kids try to work out with me and they want the 5-pounders, and then they're like, I can't do it. I'm like, just use body weight. You're still working something, because you have your weight that you're lifting, or just like focusing in on that muscle group really makes a huge difference too. Cause like you want that like focus on the muscle, and just like resisting on your own, you can do that. So yeah, so you don't need equipment. You can even get creative and use like water bottles or cans or something if you need to add in a little weight. But yeah, over time, if you have the funds, just slowly get equipment as you get stronger. Because honestly, I had 5-pounders for the longest time, and then for like Mother's Day, I actually asked for weights one year, and my husband got me 10s. So I only had 5 and 10s for a long time, and I was seeing a little progress with those, because yeah, it was better than nothing, because at that point I was getting a little stronger. So 5s and 10s, even 10s, like with bicep curls, I was getting exhausted pretty quickly early on. And yeah, but like after using 5s for a while, I was like, yeah, I need something heavier. But yeah, you will get stronger over time and maybe need something a little heavier, and find creative ways to get stuff that's heavier. If it's like lifting buckets with sand in them, who knows? But just get creative. Make sure you're smart about it so you don't injure yourself, and have fun. Because honestly, working out puts me in such a better mood. And my husband has noticed I'm not normally a cranky person anyway, but like if I am getting tired, working out midday like gives me that energy to get through the rest of the day. I know some people, it's like the endorphins aren't worth it, but for me, it's totally worth it, and I can see myself getting stronger and in better shape. So it's totally worth all the hard work. And yeah, you do notice after a while that like if you haven't worked out in a while, it's like, oh, muscles kind of go back to being lazy after just even a little bit. Because I missed like 4 or 5 days in a row. It was just a busy week, and the next week it was so hard. I'm like, what the heck? I was like, this used to be hard, but not this hard. So I'm progressing back up there. So you just gotta keep it going. Find creative ways to keep it going. But yeah, so here I'm gonna stop yapping, and I am going to give you the tour of the equipment I have. So here we go. So first off, we have this punching bag, and we have hand wraps and gloves that go with it. It's just like strapped to a stud in our ceiling. And we have like this little spring up there to make it a little better and less bouncy. Well, it actually makes it bouncier, but it makes it like safer to have screwed in there. But we got that because my husband's like, I think the kids would really like a punching bag. So, and also he would too. So we got a punching bag We got this one on Amazon. It wasn't too expensive. This is like, I think, our newest piece of equipment that we have, and it's mostly used by my husband and my kids. I don't really use the punching bag. I think I used it like a couple times when we first got it, but I'm like, I am a strength training girl, so yeah. I don't really use that. Okay, then next, this is like the one that I was like, I'm going to give them an explanation of how we got this. This is like a gym quality treadmill, you all. Yes, it's old. As you can tell, it has like an old display on it. But this was at my husband's work. They have a gym for whoever wants to use it. And as you can see, my stepped in paint and got little paw prints on it. But anyway, so they had all this like gym quality equipment, and they wanted to upgrade their treadmills. So they did a silent auction. They upgraded some other things too. I can't remember what else they upgraded, but they upgraded the treadmills. They had like 2 or 3 that they were, because small gym, it's a workplace gym. It's not like a, but it's a good gym. It has like a lot of weights and stuff. But and you can get everything done that you need to get done there, in my opinion. But yeah, so they were getting rid of the treadmills, and they did a silent auction. So I think my husband was like one of 2 or 3 people that bid on this, because they thought, yeah, I don't know if people just didn't want it because it's so big, because it's not like a normal home gym treadmill. But yeah, so I think we got it for like $100, which is a steal. And if you can imagine, I believe that it probably, like, yeah, it's probably more worn than a brand new one, but it still runs and does everything it should do, because like I said again, it was used in a workplace gym, so it doesn't get as much traffic as a regular treadmill in a gym would get, like in a I don't know, 24-hour fitness or wherever. So it still works, still does what it's supposed to do. So for $100 to get a high quality treadmill, it was a good deal in my opinion. And then this, I don't have it folded down right now. Oh, and I should say, I'm not very good about using the treadmill. I need to get better at it. I used to go on it every day, but I just haven't had time, and I choose strength training every day over cardio, which strength training, you can get your heart rate up pretty well if you're really trying to like lift heavy and do a lot of reps and stuff. It gets your heart rate up. But anyway, oh, and of course I have a fan, because it's gonna get too hot in a garage without a fan, especially when it's been summertime and it's still pretty warm right now. So yeah, gotta have a fan. But anyway, this is a rower. We bought this off of Amazon, I believe too. I don't have it folded down. I sometimes use this. I use it probably as often as the treadmill, which isn't very much lately. Honestly, when the weather's nice, I prefer to go for walks outside. So we got this on Amazon. It's cheap. It's not like the greatest, fanciest rower, but it has like 8 levels of resistance, a really cheap display on it. But it does what it's supposed to do, right? So it wasn't super, super expensive. We've had this probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years would be my guess. My kids like to use it sometimes. My kids use the treadmill. And then this is my personal favorite. So we got these, well, not the resistance bands. I love resistance bands. I use them occasionally when I'm strength training, like for hip thrusts or even squats. They're great because it adds an extra level of difficulty to it. And resistance bands you can get really cheap. I think these are Kira Stokes. There's 3 different levels, and it came in like a set. Which resistance bands, I think most of them come in sets. They probably have some good ones on Amazon that maybe that are more fabric-y. I've seen like the fabric-y ones, but I wasn't sure what I wanted. You could probably read reviews and get some good ones on there. But this is my favorite. This glorious thing right here. It's a bit messy because we've been painting, well, kind of. It's hard to get back there with all this stuff in our garage. But anyway, so this we found at Costco during that time of year when everyone's making their resolutions. So we got this, I think it was like a couple $100, and it goes from 5 pounds, which I think I put this on. My daughter put her weight backwards. It goes from 5 pounds all the way to 30. And if you do the math, just looking at it, it's in 5 pound increments. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, and it's just what I need, honestly. Sometimes my grip strength gives out, and 30 and 25 is just way too much, especially if I'm doing like a gazillion deadlifts. I'm not one of those like insanely heavy deadlifters, but yeah, so 5 to 30 pounds is perfect for me. I rarely use the 5s anymore. I do have some foam covered colorful 5s and 10s. Those were my original weights that I used. I like these too because if you can see, well, it's pretty obvious, but they're like flat on the sides. So if you're doing like renegade rows or something, if you don't know what that is, you could probably look it up. But it's basically being in like a push-up position and then pulling a weight up straight, straight back. So these, I like that for exercises like that because it's not going to roll. So that's one of the things that makes these so fantastic. And I say if you have a Costco near you and you really want to get some weights, even I bet you they have them year round online, but they have a lot of gym stuff at Christmas time. My goal eventually is to have a more dedicated space, gym space, because we just have this one car garage. So as I was saying, we just have this one car garage right now. We really desperately want to move, but just can't presently for a multiple variety of reasons. I'm not going to get into it. I'm like, yeah, I think it's the same stuff everyone's experiencing, honestly. Yeah, so we want to move. Our goal is to hopefully have, well, one of the reasons is because we need more parking space because we're going to have more drivers in the house, and we have a single car garage that is used for storage, and our one big car that we do have cannot fit in here anyway. And then we need another car because we have more drivers and we have no parking space, especially with how my neighbors park. Anyways, so we don't have a lot of parking space, but we would like to get like a 2 to 3 car garage, preferably 3. And hopefully that third bay is like a separate kind of bay, where we can like make it a dedicated gym space, and then the other 2 spots can be storage / maybe park a car in there, so we have one less car in the driveway. But yeah, so our goal would be to move into a bigger house because we desperately need to, and have more dedicated gym space. At Costco, there was this thing that I was like in love with during the again, New Year's resolution time of year, because it was like January. They had like a cable machine, and I was like, I really want that, but I don't have the space. So hopefully someday I will have space for cables and slowly be able to add to my gym as I can afford it, because I don't want to go broke getting a gym, but I do want to add to it to have variety, because honestly, it is easy to get bored and want to change things up with working out. You don't want to get stuck in a rut. So yeah, anyway, so that is my home gym. I hope you like the tour. I hope you are inspired to maybe work out. Like I said, you don't need all this equipment. I didn't use equipment at all when I first started working out. So yeah, that was the tour of my gym, and I hope you all liked it. I know it's a mess out here, that's the way it is. So anyways, yeah, do you all have home gyms or a favorite YouTuber that you like to watch or exercise program that you do? Leave a comment with those things, because yeah, I like to see what others are doing. Maybe I'll try it, because I use like mostly, I'm probably gonna butcher her last name, but Carolyn Gervin, I think is how you say her last name. I mostly use her workouts lately. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I highly recommend going and checking her YouTube channel out if you haven't already, because yeah, definitely pushes me, and I can definitely see more definition doing her workouts than I used to. So yeah, leave a comment with what you're doing for workouts or what you plan on doing, because yeah, it's never too late to get started on getting in better shape. That is something I have learned. It's good to take care of yourselves. Anyways, I will talk to you all later and see you next time. Bye.